Welcome to another edition of Biloxi A to Z, the insider's guide to what's happening in Biloxi. This is for Friday, February 25th, 2022, Mardi Gras weekend. We'll tell you the absolute worst place to stand for throws this Mardi Gras. We'll tell you about Mardi Gras preparation and the forecast. We'll give you the latest on City Council actions this week. We'll have the latest on COVID-19, and we'll leave you on the longest pier in Biloxi, where you just never know what you'll see. But we begin today with where we started, Mardi Gras. We've seen the Children's Walking Parade. We've seen the crew of Biloxi Parade, and now the big weekend is here. City preparations have been underway for more than a week. Reviewing stands have been erected, lights have been lit, and barricades have been placed. In fact, check out these numbers from the Public Works Department. Thousands of barricades, traffic cones, and lots more. And of course, portalets, dozens and dozens of them along the parade route. Saturday, the floats will begin lining up for the Neptune Parade, which it begins at 5:30 on Saturday evening. Then on Tuesday, Fat Tuesday, Gulf Coast Carnival Association rolls at 1 p.m. Here's what you need to know. Joining me now is Biloxi Police Chief John Miller. Chief, this will be the first time we've had Mardi Gras parades in a year, so what do you think is going to happen?
That's correct. We didn't have Mardi Gras last year just because of the pandemic and the burden that we thought it may cause on people and the illness that they could have acquired. I expect a huge crowd this year. I think people have waited a long time. They want to get out. They want to come to Mardi Gras, so I expect a huge crowd, bigger than usual.
We're going to get into some tips in a moment about what people need to know and things to help them enjoy Mardi Gras. But from a police standpoint, what is your biggest challenge on Mardi Gras Day?
Well, it's the crowd. It's the number of people and the number of vehicles that are here all at one time. That's what we have to try to deal with.
But your biggest call would be for?
The biggest call would be, take your pick.
It's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything. So there'll be some fight calls. Hopefully that there won't be too many this year. There'll be a few fight calls, and there'll be some traffic issues. And once the parade's over, we'll have a lot of calls from people who are trapped on side streets trying to get out, and they're just going to have to be patient.
We say that every year, and
and people are, they do get impatient. They want to get the parade's over, the good time's over with. They just want to get out and go home. Mm-hmm. But it takes, usually within about an hour and a half, most of the traffic is cleared out. So people will keep that in the back of their mind that, okay, I may have to sit here a few minutes. There's just no way for all that traffic to leave this area all at the same time and not cause some problems.
Now, the Neptune Parade is going to be on Saturday at 5:30, so it's a night parade, and then your afternoon parade, Gulf Coast Carnival, 1 o'clock on Tuesday, Fat Tuesday. What challenges do you have with a night parade?
Well, naturally, you don't see as well, and I'm always worried that the float drivers won't see people if somebody runs in front of a float, because it's darker, but there is a good bit of light. So things like that, and then naturally burglaries. Make sure your car is secured, locked, and don't leave anything laying out that a burglar could see, because burglars a lot of times will walk from car to car, look in the car to see if they see anything. If they don't see anything, they move on to the next car. But since it's dark, it's hard for us to see them doing that. It's hard for citizens to see them doing it and call it into us. So make sure everything's secured in your trunk. Don't leave anything laying out in the open where it can be seen.
And if you're going to go to the parade, remember to arrive early and park legally.
Arrive early, park legally, and be prepared to stay. Don't think you're just going to jump in your car and take off after the parade. Now, it is a little bit easier with Neptune because of the route. It is a little bit easier. Once the route has passed a particular area, you can get in your car, and it's easy to go east, to leave here and go east. You can do that, much easier than you can with Gulf Coast Carnival, just simply because of the route layout.
And the route is pretty much a circle for Gulf Coast Carnival. It's an oval, Gulf Coast Carnival.
It is.
The Neptune Parade route will go through downtown, but instead of going down towards the Lighthouse and Porter Avenue, it turns north on Kyvet.
So the differences are, it's going to start on Main Street and come down. The only time it's going to hit Highway 90 is right there at the end of Main Street. It'll hit Highway 90, come down, turn on Muse Street, go down in front of City Hall, and straight on down to Martin Luther King and around, around the loop, and then it'll turn and go down Cavett Street, and it'll actually end in front of the IP.
The Gulf Coast Carnival, of course, will go all the way down.
So Gulf Coast Carnival, the first part of that's the same. It's gonna start on Main Street. It's gonna go down, hit 90, then turn and come up Lemieux Street. It'll go around.
Hit MLK and go all the way south down to 90.
South, back down to 90, then it'll hit 90 and come all the way back down 90 to Porter Avenue, and it'll turn on Porter Avenue. So
it takes a little longer.
It takes a little longer, and hit 90 twice like that. Let me make this point though before I forget about it. So on 90, if you're trying to stage yourself south of the parade route, you're not going to get any throws. Our instructions have been, and both Carnival Association and Neptune are working well with us. They're not going to throw anything south.
We don't want anybody in that median, right?
There's still two-way traffic traveling over there.
On the south side.
That's right. It's too easy for someone to get hit. So they won't be throwing anything south. So if you want to catch stuff, you're going to have to be north.
Be on one of the main streets, but not Highway 90.
Yeah, well, you can be on Highway 90, but be
on the north side.
North side.
So what do you have special advice for parents who are bringing their children to the parade?
Yeah, so don't let them out of your sight. Keep them close to you. Before you leave, go ahead and stick something in your pocket with their name on it, with your name on it, the parent's name, and a telephone number where you can be reached. Everybody thinks it's never going to happen, but every year we get several children every year that get lost. I don't know how it happens. Their parents are always scared to death. But it's just a lot of chaos at times, and you look around, your child's there, you look back and your child's gone. So we're constantly getting children, and there's nothing more frustrating than to pick up a child and they're not old enough to tell you where they live or give you a phone number or tell you anything. It'd be nice to have that information in their pocket. We can immediately reunite them with their family.
You've got pretty much all of the route barricaded now, and those barricades have just been a godsend to you.
They have. A lot of people hate the barricades, but I'm going to tell you, it's the greatest safety measure we've ever taken with parades, is to have the barricades in place. And we ask that people stay behind the barricades.
That's another big thing. If you go around them, you're actually breaking the law.
You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. We have a lot of people who climb over the barricades. We've actually had barricades tip over with people trying to climb over them before, and people have been injured that way. Please stay behind the barricades.
You have, before every big event, you have a briefing with your officers, whether it's spring break or St. Patrick's Day or Mardi Gras. What advice do you give your officers when they're dealing with a major event?
So we usually start that briefing off naturally. There's a whole lot of information we try to impart to them, everything from vendors and vendor permits, the whole, everything you can think of. But what we always tell them is, look, relax, don't get frustrated, don't let people frustrate you, You're going to be dealing with some people who have been drinking, They're out there to have a good time. Naturally enforce the law, but don't get frustrated. Don't let them get you frustrated and angry. And that is a difficult thing to do, because you start off early. Long before people are getting here for the parade, law enforcement is already out there, making sure that the route's clear, the floats can get through, people can park where they need to park. So they've been here a long time already before the parade.
And some people, by the way, have been here.
Some people have been here a long time. And the officers are going to be there well after the parade's gone and everybody's home. The officers are still going to be out, because there will be a whole lot of cleanup that's going to have to go on as far as people who have been drinking, and there'll be a lot of car crashes. Most of them usually are just vendors, but still they're there. So the officers have a long day that day.
Well, please be patient. Do what you can to help the officers. The biggest thing is just listen to what they say. And typically for Mardi Gras, we see officers in different uniforms here in Biloxi.
You do, and you'll see some of that this time also. Naturally, all the cities around us, no city has enough policemen to cover something as large as Mardi Gras. And so we share officers. You'll see officers from all over the coast here. And there may even be some from, up towards North Mississippi.
What's the weather looking like for Saturday and Tuesday?
My understanding, the weather looks good.
Or does it look bad?
Yeah. Well, it looks good for the parade goers.
It'll be good for everybody. Yeah. Thank you, and enjoy Mardi Gras. Chief Miller, thank you. Any parting words?
Nope. Just be safe, be careful. And again, watch your children.
Thank you. If there was ever a good time to sign up for traffic alerts from the city of Biloxi, this is it. We'll keep you posted on Mardi Gras traffic, street closures, and more. All you have to do is text Biloxi, Biloxi, to 99411. The Biloxi City Council this week dealt with the issue of fireworks, the sale, the possession, and the limited times you can now legally fire them. The fireworks issue was just one of the measures the City Council members addressed during their meeting on Tuesday night. You can see the video recording of the meetings, as well as the agendas and supporting documents. They're all right here on the City Council link on the right side of the city's website.
As of Thursday, February the 24th, the Health Department reports more than 500 new cases of the virus statewide in a 24-hour period. 30 deaths were also reported. In Harrison County, 57 new COVID-19 cases were reported on Thursday with 2 deaths. Overall, nearly 800,000 cases of the virus have been reported throughout Mississippi since the pandemic began in early 2020, and nearly 12,000 Mississippians have died from COVID-19. In Harrison County, since day one, more than 53,000 cases of the virus have been reported, with 643 deaths at the hospitals. As of February the 22nd, more than 450 people were in Mississippi hospitals with COVID-19, and nearly 100 of those were in intensive care units. Along the coast, 71 people were hospitalized with the virus, and 28 of those were in intensive care units. As for Mississippi's vaccination rate, as of February the 24th, 48% of the population is fully vaccinated, and 46% of Harrison County residents are reported as fully vaccinated, according to the Health Department. For more information about vaccinations, links to appointments, and safety protocols, visit the city's website at biloxi.ms.us, or you may call the Mississippi COVID-19 hotline at 877-978-6453 to schedule a COVID-19 vaccination. The weather this weekend is forecast to be mostly sunny with a chance of rain on Sunday. Temperatures are expected to range from the mid-40s to the mid-60s. Looks like the temperatures will be nice for this weekend's parades. In addition to the parades, on Friday, the Biloxi Elks Lodge will hold a Friday bingo night. The Beatles tribute will be at the Beau Rivage, and Reba McEntire will perform at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. So expect heavy traffic on US 90 before and after the concert. Then on Saturday, Rock of the 70s, a concert with various groups from the 70s, will be at the IP. The Beatles tribute will again perform at the Beau Rivage, and Beauvoir will host a Meet the Spirits event. To see a listing of happenings, check out the Biloxi Community Calendar in the February edition of B News Monthly. It can also be viewed on the city's website by clicking here. We leave you today from the Point Cadet Fishing Bridge. It's known by locals as a bridge because, well, that's what it was once. FEMA, which funded the $9 million construction after Katrina, says it's a pier. And who are we to argue? It's 4,700 feet long, and you just never know what you're going to see. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.